Good morning, welcome to the Fixed Wing Guy channel. My name's Stuart Lomas. Hope I find you well on this lovely Wednesday morning. It's a nice day here in Manchester, at least it's not raining. As I always do every morning, whilst having my first cup of tea of the day and pulling myself together when the pain is far too intense to actually do anything of any productive nature, I sit and catch up on my favourite YouTube channels and see if there's anything there that spurs me on to make a little video for the day. Well, I note today that Simon Crane has touched upon watch snobbery yet again. And I think this is a bit of a problem that doesn't actually lie well with me. Simon, I do like his channel very, very much indeed, and he takes a very common sense approach to watches normally. But he mentioned yet again today that he's falling a little bit into the camp of arty luxury, where if you are buying a watch that you've yearned after, or a particular brand that you feel should be on your wrist, that it should hurt. He mentioned our friend down under Archie Luxury, saying that he finds himself agreeing with Archie a little bit on that view, which I find a little bit hard to stomach. Most people are not well off. There are certain countries in the world that are done for financially, and the people who live in those countries are also done for, and they may or may not have the money to save for a particular item, an item that, let's face it, in the cold light of day isn't necessary, which is a luxury timepiece. You can go and buy something cheap which will tell the time. If you spend £5, $10 on a quartz movement watch, then that will tell as good a time, if not better time, than the most expensive automatic movement out there. And for people to say that you should go out and you should really feel the impact financially on yourself for buying a timepiece is nonsense. It's complete nonsense. Follow the advice of Andy Hunter. Andy Hunter has always said that if there is a particular expensive timepiece that you want to buy, save up for it. The saving makes the acquisition of an expensive timepiece more satisfying, I feel. If you know that you've set a goal, and the goal is the acquisition of that timepiece, and you've put aside X amount of money every month for that timepiece, whilst ensuring that your household expenses are covered, that there is food on the table, that clothes and shoes, etc., for yourself and those who you love are dealt with, then that's the main thing. But at no point, regardless whether all those things are covered, should the acquisition of a timepiece, to use Archie's parlance, feel like a kick in the nuts. It's complete nonsense, and my advice would be walk away from that. Do not fall into the trap of wanting to excuse me, exercise your plastic and max it out. It isn't worth it. Wait, save, buy, and keep your eye on the prize, and you will feel a sense of achievement once that timepiece is in your hand. So Simon, I don't know where you're coming from on this one. I hope you change your mind. We'll just wait and see. Also, I believe that Simon's also selling his Steinhardt OVM. I am sure that Simon will make a profit on that. If he does it on a buy it now, unless he's got a particular price in mind, it might be a bad move. It might be better to put a reserve on it. An OVM was something I was thinking about buying. Don't think I will now. Not because they've changed the style, not because the Series 1 has lost its appeal. It hasn't. I think that I'm now going down the line of either an Omega 300 coaxial, possibly reminiscent of Andy Hunter's blue dial, blue bezel, or maybe even a vintage Seamaster circa 1965-67, something like that, which I think would be quite nice. What I want to talk about really today is, again, Simon touched on it about watch snobbery, and the thing that annoys me about watch snobbery is the word horology. They all talk about the horology that goes into a particular timepiece. Well, anything with the 3 letters ology, or the 5 letters ology at the end, means a study of. And I know over time it's come to mean the making of as well, but where does that statement sit with things like biology, for instance, or physiology, or sociology, or whatever? I prefer just to talk about watch making. And the skills behind that, and what I admire greatly about certain artisans that I could quite happily sit and watch all day long. 3 of which obviously is a skilled watchmaker. Another one is a glassblower. Fascinating. And the final one for me is a blacksmith, a proper blacksmith, a traditional blacksmith who shoes horses, makes horseshoes and nails and so on and so forth. It is fascinating to watch somebody who's as skilled as that plying their trade. So yes, the term horology, if you look it up in the dictionary, it used to say that it was the study of time. So basically it's always been there. Time for me is a human construct. I'm sure that cosmologists, etc., would disagree. They would say that time as an entity existed the moment the Big Bang occurred, but I feel that the time that they're talking about excuse me, is more about space-time than anything else, which is, as we're all aware, is a material thing rather than anything else. So when people talk about horology, from my point of view, what you're talking about there are people over the years, over the centuries and the millennia, who have monitored and endeavoured to measure the passing of time. And over the last 200 years, I guess, horology has been attached to the watchmaking industry, and that's fine. I'm kind of okay that it's been allied to it, but I'm not particularly happy with it being allied to the watchmaking trade. They are watchmakers, they are artisans, they are macro engineers, people who will take tiny pieces of metal, shape them, weigh them, make them out of different materials, use jewels to ensure that they run smoothly, and put them together in a particular order, in a particular way, to ensure that the time that they measure is accurate. For me, the term horologist or horology doesn't really fit. Horologist is somebody who studies the passing of time, not somebody who makes something that measures the passing of time. And as far as we're concerned, as I've said before, I'm not a watch snob at all. I don't even class myself as a watch expert. I'm somebody who likes watches, and I appreciate that no matter what I spend, whether it be £5, £10, £10, £1,000, whatever. All they do, all measure time in different ways, and the artisans who make those watches push the boundaries every single year to show how clever they are, whether it be tourbillon movements or some of the double barrel movements that people are coming out with now, and they're wonderful, they're absolutely wonderful. So horology for me is about the science of time measurement, and as far as watchmaking is concerned, that is what it is. It is watchmaking, an instrument which can be worn on the wrist or put in your pocket to advise you of what time of day it is, how long you've got left in a parking meter, what time you're going to meet your wife or pick the kids up from school, or whatever it is. The beauty of timepiece manufacture is the skill, the dedication and the love that these people have for making something which is quite extraordinary now. There are things out there that have surpassed items that just tell the time. How they do it, I have no idea. Why they do it, well, that's easy, because they have a more in-depth love and understanding of what a timepiece should be and can be, and they make it for people like us and people who have the money to invest in something that we can look at and admire the skill that's gone into that. So I guess for me today, to sum up, what Snobbery seems to be a lot of it about, do not push yourself and bankrupt yourself for something that's going to live on your wrist, or if it's an admiration piece that's just going to stay in a box or in your watch winder or at the middle of your collection. Save up and the acquisition will be all the sweeter. And as far as the term horology, which so-called experts out there wish to use, it is the study of time, that people have come to understand how time passes, and watchmaking is watchmaking, which is a skill honed over 200 years, and has got to the point now where the actual purpose of a watch has been surpassed by the creativity and the imagination of the people in Switzerland and other places around the world, where they can actually put something in a case of 40mm or 44mm, which you wonder how the hell they've managed to squeeze all that technology into such a small space to allow you, me and anybody else to go out and buy it and wear it on our wrists. So that's basically it for today. Watch Snobbery, horology and timekeeping and timepiece manufacture. I hope you've enjoyed it today. I know it's a little bit of a rant, but hopefully it'll give you more of an idea of where I come from, which I think is more the real world, perhaps. So any questions, any comments, negative or positive, I don't mind, down below. Anything you want to say generally, or anything that you want me to allude to in these videos, down below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much. I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Bye bye.